of Godhead, Hari, in Madhvan, text 31 and 32. Following the regulative principles of Mahabhishek, Maharaj Ambarish performed the bathing ceremony for the deity of Lord Krishna with all paraphernalia, and then he dressed the deity with fine clothing, ornaments, fragrant flower garlands, and other paraphernalia for worship of the Lord. With attention and devotion, he worshipped Krishna and all the greatly fortunate Brahmanas who were free from material desires. Text 33 and 35. After Maharaj Ambarish satisfied all the guests who arrived at his house, especially the Brahmanas, he gave in charity 60 crores of cows whose horns were covered with gold plate and whose hooves were covered with silver plate. All the cows were well decorated with garments and had full milk bags. They were mild-natured, young, and beautiful, and were accompanied by their calves. After giving these cows, the king first sumptuously fed all the Brahmanas, and when they were fully satisfied, he was about to observe the end of Ekadashi with their permission by breaking the fast. Exactly at that time, however, Durvasa Muni, after standing up to receive Durvasa Muni, King Ambarish offered him a seat and paraphernalia to worship. Then, sitting at his feet, the king requested the sage to eat. Text 37. Durvasa Muni gladly accepted the request of Maharaj Ambarish, but to perform the regulative ritualistic ceremonies, he went to the river Yamuna. There he dipped into the water of the auspicious Yamuna and meditated upon the impersonal Brahman. Text 38. In the meantime, only a muhurta of Dvadashi day was left on which to break the fast. Consequently, it was imperative that the fast be broken immediately. In this dangerous position, the king consulted learned Brahmanas. Texts 39 and 40. The king said, "To transgress the laws of respectful behavior towards the Brahmanas is certainly a great offense. On the other hand, if one does not observe the breaking of the fast within the time of Dvadashi, there is a flaw in one's observance of the vow. Therefore, O Brahmanas, if you think that it will be auspicious and not irreligious, I shall break the fast by drinking water." In this way, after consulting the Brahmanas, the king reached this decision. For according to Brahminical opinion, drinking water may be accepted as eating and also as not eating. And this one has purport. Purport. When Maharaj Ambarish, in his dilemma, consulted the Brahmanas about where he should break the fast or wait for Durvasa Muni, apparently they could not give definite answer about what to do. Vaishnava, however, is the most intelligent personality. Therefore, Maharaj Ambarish himself decided in the presence of the Brahmanas that he would drink a little water, for this would confirm that the fast was broken, but would not transgress the laws of receiving a Brahmana. In the Vedas, it is said, "Aposhnati tan naivashitam naivanashitam." This Vedic injunction declares that the drinking of water may be accepted as eating and as not eating. Sometimes, in our practical experience, we see that some political leader adhering to satyagraha will not eat but will drink water. Considering that drinking water would not be eating, Maharaj Ambarish decided to act in this way. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So today we're hearing this elaborate vow that Maharaj Ambarish was performing with his wife for a whole year, and it's a vow of Ekadashi. And they're telling us how after observing that vow for 1 year, then fasting for the last 3 nights, and they had to bathe in the Jamuna, worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, do Abhishek, offer the Lord very amazing paraphernalia, offering cows and satisfying the brahmanas. This was a very elaborate vow that he was taking, and it was important for him because this was his way of showing his devotion. Uh, and in here where we begin to see a little bit of what it is, the importance of vows. What is the importance of vows? Vows actually give great power. Vows are amazing because uh, you see how people who take these vows seriously obtain incredible powers, such as Hiranyakashipu and Ravana. Hiranyakashipu, he stood on the tips of his toes with his hands raised above his head for thousands of celestial years. Now, doing this vow allowed him to get all the mystic powers and become basically invincible to anyone on earth and in the heavens and everywhere. Ravana also performed great vows with his brothers and sister, and he was also able to conquer the three worlds with that. We hear of Gandhari, the wife of Dhritarashtra, and because her husband was blind, she decided to take the vow of blindfolding herself, so that she could be on the same level as her husband always. And because of that, when her son was in battle, then she was able to give him the boon of becoming very strong and invincible. Bhishma also, grandfather Bhishma, he made the vow, this great vow of not ever marrying, and because of this, he got the boon of not dying until he wished to do it. So we see that vows give great power, and one might say, well, why is Maharaj Ambarish here, performing that vow? Does he want great power? Well, not really. He's already the king of the world. He's the emperor of the. Does he wish to not be challenged like that? No. He was doing it for other reasons. We see devotees, they do vows for different reasons. Like in the we hear in the sixth canto of in the eighth canto, the Payovrata, which was performed by Diti, the wife of Kashyapa, and she was doing this because her sons were very much afflicted by not having their positions, because the demons had overtaken the demigods, and her sons were the demigods. And so her husband Kashyapa Muni saw, like, okay, well, you want something that is material, so which is like the reinstatement of your sons in their in their jobs. Well, what I'm going to give you something which is going to not only help you in that, but it's also going to purify you. It's going to bring you closer to the Lord. And so he gave him this Payovrata vow, and allowed her to then have her son Vamanadev, which is an incarnation of the Lord. But furthermore, like we see devotees, like sometimes they during not Ekadashi, but on the time of Kartik, they will say, like, okay, I'm going to take a vow of not eating sweets, generally, so that they can lose weight. That is okay, but because they're doing it on Ekadashi, and they're still getting spiritual benefit. But the best type of vows are like this vow that Maharaj Ambarish is taking here, which is vows to simply satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. to just make him happy, not because he wants anything for himself, but because he really wants uh, to show his gratitude. Generally, when one is actually feeling gratitude towards somebody, one wants to do something for that person, not just say like, oh, thank you very much. It's like no, like in the heart there arises this desire to, I actually want to give something special to this person. And especially towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to have these type of feelings, uh, one must, be purified. It is said in Bhagavad Gita 7:28. Sorry, in yes, Tesham Yesham Tvanantagatam Papam Jananam Punya Karmanam Ted Vanva Moha Nirmukta Bhajante Mam Dridabrata. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are free from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. So, what does this mean? It means that unless one is reinstated in the constitutional position, it is not possible to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead or be fully engaged in His service with determination. This is what Prabhupada says. Unless we are feeling unless we are in our constitutional position, which is uh, having genuine love for God, it is very difficult to be able to perform these type of vows for Krishna. So why am I going to wait until I'm completely freed to be able to perform vows for the Lord? No, in the process of Bhakti Yoga, the ends and the means are the same. I want to be able to perform these vows out of love towards for the Lord. And how do I get to that? I perform vows with love for the Lord. You know, so the ends and the means are the same. So we practice, by doing simple things like the Ekadashi Vrat. Every 15 days or so, we're asked, just perform a little bit of austerity of, not eating grains or beans, and just keep it simple, and try to chant more, read more, do a little bit more of that. And even Lord Chaitanya, asked his mother, please mother, follow this vrata. So it's a very simple one, and we can perform it. And doing that, uh, we are pleasing the Supreme Personality of God, especially Lord Gauranga. We're pleasing him. We don't have to necessarily come up or try to invent all of these different types of austerities. Let me lash myself 108 times so that I can please the Supreme Personality of God. And that's austerity in the mode of ignorance. We don't need to come up like that. Processes are given naturally. In Prabhupada gave us so many of these things, like, okay, fast on the days that are given for saintly personalities, like I believe is it tomorrow that is the appearance day of Lord Ramachandra. So there's fasting on that day, and when they're in, so naturally we're going to fast and we're going to hear the pastimes of the Lord. So it's naturally incorporated into our lives. These things. We just have to actually take it in. We have to just accept them and understand their importance and why they're there. And by doing so, then we get the full benefit of it. And in that way, we please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This following of the vows is also important, because especially for those who are aspiring for a spiritual master, or who have already taken shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, there are certain vows that one makes. at the time of initiation, such as chanting 16 rounds every day and following the four regulative principles. These vows are vows that we're making so that we are able to come closer to Krishna. And these vows, just like the vows that we make when we get married, it's like, okay, I'm doing this out of love. And when one understands it in that way, rather than like you have to do this, otherwise you will you'll be put in hell forever or something like that. When we do it out of love, then we will actually follow it very nicely. We will be doing it enthusiastically rather than begrudgingly. Again, it's the idea that when you actually love a person, at this moment, I may not be having like total love in Krishna, but I may develop love for my guru. My guru, he's a representative of Krishna, and if I develop that it's easier to have that love for my guru, and for him, I will do these things. Also, when we're doing preaching, such as, for example, Adi Purush Prabhu, he has a vow of giving food to the homeless 3 days a week. And he has been doing that for years and years. And it takes great austerity, to be able to do it. And it's a vow, whether it's raining, whether it's snowing, whether it's super hot, whether I feel like it, whether I not, we're going to go out there and we're going to feed the homeless prasadam. So it's these vows, that show, okay, here is my love for my guru. My guru wants to spread the love of God. This is my way of doing it. This is my way of showing my gratitude for him. So when we come in this line, in this line of thought, then vows become not necessarily easy, because the whole point of vows is that it's difficult, right? But we don't mind doing them, just as a mother doesn't mind taking care of her child. It's like, okay, it's difficult, yes, like that, but I love my child, and for my child I'll do anything, right? I'll do anything. So that those vows are to help us become stronger, to help our mind really focus on what's important. The vows give us help us become much more determined that, yes, this is the goal, this is what I want, because in the end, it is our it is our desire that's going to take us back to Godhead, and that desire comes with determination, and that determination is helped by these vows. Now, today also in the reading, we in the purport, Prabhupada was talking about Maharaj Ambarish and his dilemma when he consulted the Brahmanas. He was put into this like very, very difficult situation. He has done all this thing perfectly, just like he has followed this vow, which is very difficult. He has done it all, and suddenly at the last moment, at the very last moment, here's the monkey wrench, in the so somebody threw the wrench, and it's like, oh my God, you're like, what do I do now? It's like I was about to like have it perfect, and now what do I do? So and when he asked the Brahmas, like what do I do? I do I eat? Do I not eat? If if I don't eat, then this whole vow that I did is gone. But if I eat, then I offend the brahmanas, and and if you offend the brahmanas, it's a great offense, which is also like bad for because Krishna loves the brahmanas. Go brahmana hitaya cha. Krishna loves the brahmanas and the cows. So if I offend, then what do I do? I can't eat. I cannot eat. Like what do I do? And the brahmanas were going like, I don't know. It's difficult. Yeah, it's a difficult position like that. But then Prabhupada here says that that a Vaishnava, however, is the most intelligent personality. Now, that sounds a little bit puffed up. Oh yes, Vaishnavas are most intelligent, but no, it is true. It is true that they are they're there. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam tadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam payantite. It says, to show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. And he also says, Ananya chintayanto mam yajana paripasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshema bahamyaham. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. So, what does a devotee do when he or she is in a bewildering position like this, like damn if you do and damn if you don't, kind of like this catch 24, 24, 22. Anyway, you're in this horrible position in which you don't know what to do. They take shelter of Krishna. They go, please, Krishna, help me. I don't know what to do. I'm the material existence is so bewildering that even when I'm trying to please you, I can't. It seems like I can't. It seems like everything's against me. What do I do? Please help me. And then Krishna said, here I will give you what you lack, this knowledge. And in the heart, with the shining lamp of knowledge, he reveals what we can do. And we see this also when Arjuna was facing in a similar position, in which he finally caught was it Ashvatthama, and this was the person who had killed his sons mercilessly, and his brother Bhima was saying like, yeah, kill him. He mercilessly killed our sons while they were asleep. But then Arjuna's wife was saying like, no, don't kill him, because he's the son of your martial guru. And his mother, she only has him left, and I don't want her to feel this pain. And Arjuna was faced with this decision, like, do I kill him? Do I not? And the both of these positions from these two devotees of the Lord, both were devotees of the Lord who were telling him, do this and do that, and it was completely different. What did Krishna do? What did Arjuna do? He took shelter of Krishna, and Krishna illuminated within his heart. Here's what you can do. Just give him a really bad haircut. In other words, because by humiliating a kshatriya, it is as bad, as killing him. But at the same time, you're not killing him. So yeah, so he gave him like this, ridiculous haircut that humiliated him, and therefore he satisfied both of them. And now Ambarish Maharaj is in a dilemma of, do I eat? Do I not eat? What do I do? And he took shelter of Krishna. And when he took shelter of Krishna, Krishna gave him the intelligence, like, hey, just drink water. because by drinking water, you're both eating and not eating. And therefore, like you're okay. And then what did Maharaj Ambarish do? He didn't just say like, okay, good. I have been revealed the answer. Now I'm going to do it. No, he said, let me see if this is proper. Let me go to the Brahmanas and let me put forward uh, this idea, because it could also be Maya inspiring us within our hearts, right? Uh, we don't know, especially we're neophytes. Maharaj Ambarish wasn't, but for us especially, we're neophytes, and we're going like, yes, I saw Krishna in my dreams, and he told me that it was good, if I go to the clubs, that I can do that. He told me that I will do nice preaching work in the clubs. Um, yeah, you might want to run that idea with some senior devotees first, right? So it's good to consult our ideas with senior devotees, so that we're always in line, always in check, that it's like, yeah, this is proper, this is what we should do. And uh and then that's what he did. And the Brahmana said like, yeah, you're absolutely right. This is true. The scriptures say this. You should go ahead and do it. This is the best solution for your problem. We're going to find out a little bit later just exactly what happened when he did that. Things are not always easy in the material world. Actually, things are never easy in the material world. Uh, even when you find perfect solutions, not always do the things go according to plan. And we'll see exactly like how things go. But in the end, what Bhagavatam always shows us is that whatever happens, uh, it's always for our good when we're taking shelter of Krishna. Even when things seem desperate, uh, and to have gone south, and to have been the worst thing, it's always for our benefit. We see the example of what was the name of this avatar in the fourth canto, of uh, this king. I can't remember his name right now. Maharaj Prithu. Yes, it was Maharaj Prithu. Uh, he he was doing these 100 sacrifices to satisfy Krishna, right? Satisfy the Lord. He was doing 100 Ashwamedha sacrifices, and this is hard. Just doing one of them, we can't do them anymore, because it's just like incredibly difficult. You have to have a horse that runs around for a whole year. And first of all, you have to consecrate the horse and all that thing. The horse goes around wild for a whole year, and there's an army that follows it. And wherever that horse goes, they have to declare to whoever it is there that you're do you subject to the king? And if the people in that place, in that kingdom, say like, no, we don't subject to your king, then they have to go at war. And so wherever that horse, that they have to fight whoever doesn't subject to the king. Now when the horse comes back after 1 year, then they have to do this big fire sacrifice. And for that, they have to invite all the kings. And when you invite a king, it's not a little thing. You don't just put them in the Marriott Inn, right? The presidential suite. No, build. You have to build a castle for that king, and you have to, and it's not only the king; it's the king and all of his servants. And just to have them. And you're inviting a lot of kings from a lot of provinces. So it's like, imagine like and there's like this elaborate big yagya with Brahmins and all. It's incredible. Just one sacrifice. And he was going to do the 100. And then what happened? Lord Indra, who is known to have obtained the position of, of being the king of heaven for doing 100 sacrifices, he got a little bit jealous. Like, oh, you're gonna top my mark. It's like, I don't think so. So he started doing all of these, things to stop him. And some of those things were creating apasampradayas. They were creating all of these false, all of these false religious paths and everything. So it was becoming a real mess. And Lord Brahma had to come and ask Maharaj Prithu, like, please stop. Stay at 99 yagyas. Can you imagine that? It's like 99, just one more. And no, now I have to stop. But because he did it, he took shelter of the Lord. He took shelter of Lord Brahma, who is the spiritual master of, all the three worlds, right? He's the one that spoke Vedas originally. He actually got the Supreme Personality of Godhead to come. He came and blessed him. So whenever we take shelter of the Lord, we're never the losers. Whatever happens. Whatever happens, and whether it's good or bad, it's always good. Even if we're going to hell, like Maharaj Chitraketu, he took shelter of the Lord, and he became a demon, and he was suffering miserably. But because he took shelter of the Lord, when he got defeated by Lord Indra as a demon, as Vitrasura, he went back to Godhead. So in the end, we're always the winners when we take shelter of the Lord. There's 9 minutes left, so I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to see if there are any questions or comments or any cool jokes.
Murli,
if they're not cool, then you can answer them.
If you want to take a look there.
Okay, so there are some questions already here. So, Hare Krishna, wouldn't Gandhari have better served her husband by using her eyes to see what he could not see and being strong where he was weak rather than handicapping herself as well? Yeah, that's a good position. It's like, okay, let me do this. I don't think it's necessarily a fault to have done. It's like, how do you show your love for somebody? How do you show your love for somebody? Like, sometimes we see these videos on the internet where somebody is diagnosed with cancer, and the person who is shaving that person because they're going to take on chemotherapy or whatever, then shaves his or her own head, right? And why do they do it? It's like, there was no need for you to do it, but just to show, your support, so that the person knows, like, hey, I'm here with you, I'm here for you. So Gandhari, that's what she felt like. My dear husband, I'm here with you. You can't see, like, I will also blind myself. But she could have also, used her eyes and helped him in that way. It's just, how do you want to show your love? Everybody has different ways. What is it? There are like five ways of showing and receiving love, or something like that. What is your way of showing it? That was her way. There's one from Andrea Suarez. I've wondered that too, Rohini. That would be great. Oh, okay. So I hope, Andrea, that also answers your question. And then from, yes, Prabhu?
Yeah, Prabhupada says that Mother Gandhari took that vow so that she wouldn't think herself superior to her husband. In the Vedic culture, whether we're a brahmachari, disciple, or whoever, there's someone who we are serving. There's someone who is protecting us from you know, the uncontrolled mind and senses by telling us, you know, you're pulling our ear, Prabhupada would say. So in the Vedic culture, the wife is taking shelter of the husband. In these day and age, everyone is on the Shudra platform, and you don't always see that, but she was her looking at him as her authority, and Prabhupada said she didn't want to think in any way that she was better than him. That's all of our danger. If we think we're better than our spiritual master, better than the temple president, better than the counselor that the guru has appointed for us, then there's every possibility of pride slipping in there. And, you know, we get to the material world by disobedience, right? So we have to have someone we look up to and obey. And that was, you know, not just a way of showing love, but it was a way of her saying, I want to be careful that I don't think I'm better than my husband, right? Just something Prabhupada mentioned, and it seems like it's important. Sorry to interrupt you.
Wonderful. Yeah, and I think that was also something along the lines that some OF said to everyone in the chat, but I think that you expanded a little bit more. Yeah. Any other comments or questions?
Somebody says, do we distribute prasadam 3 days a week? We distribute 7 days a week, but there's different ways. If they want to call me, 212-473-3558, I can show them how they can help us any day. 212-473-3558. We spend 15 hours a day, 7 days a week to get this prasadam out, and it's a sacrifice. We were asked to do this. Oh, Lord, Prabhupada.
Yeah. So yeah, now you know how you can also, you know, be part of, you know, take on vratas. Take a nice vratas to help others.
Hare Krishna, Murli Gopal, Prabhu. I just wanted to give my appreciation with your in-depth talk on vows and the importance of vows and kind of seeing a different perspective to vows, because I really liked how you had to say that the ends and the means are the same in terms of practicing with love and devotion, and that's what will get us to what we're trying to do anyway. I really like that clarification because, as you said, a lot of times we get so stuck in the difficulties of the vows that we forget why we're doing them and the purpose behind them and what we're trying to grow, which is that love and devotion. So thank you so much for that clarification.
Yeah, it's vows are difficult, but yeah, it's nice to do them. You can sometimes even look forward to them, you know, if you know why you're doing it, and that's where we really want to be, you know, with vows, rather than like, again we have to fast, again we have to, you know, like chant, you know, like how many rounds, like no, you know, you really want to get to the point where you're actually like, ooh, you know, I can't wait, you know, for, you know, like for Ekadashi, and I can't wait, you know, to be able to do this vow, and you know, you'll get the looks, but that's okay, you know. It's a nice state of being, you know, where you actually feel that I want to do this thing, you know. It's like there is this sense of, you know, like I get to show my love for Krishna. You know, I get to do something difficult to show to show Krishna just how, you know, just like, for example, in you know, when you show when you know that it's somebody's birthday, you know, it's somebody's birthday is coming up, you can either go like, oh my God, I have to buy a gift, and you know, and I have to like think, you know, start thinking about like, you know, what's this person's likes or dislikes, or you know, like if I get something, you know, some piece of clothing with this person, you know, say it's like, no, I don't like that type, you know, and then I have to think like also like, well, you know, what's the size, you know, and all that stuff. You know, it's so difficult. Maybe I get flowers, no, but you know, that person doesn't like flowers. What about chocolates? That person's on a diet. Oh my God, what a horrible thing. I don't want to. No, you actually go like, oh, it's difficult, because you have to come up with this thing. But I'm looking forward to be able to show this person, like maybe, like, hey, we've done everything possible in previous years, but maybe this year I'll do something that will really blow this person's mind off because I love this person. I'm going to come up with something very beautiful. Why? Because we love that person and we look forward to that. So likewise, we should get to the point where we, are looking forward to these to doing these vows to show Krishna, like, yeah, look, I really, really love you, and this thing is very special. Like some people, I know that on Ekadashi, they like to do certain extra things, like very, very nice things. Like for example, they will not only will they chant extra rounds, but they will they will do certain things like dress their deities specially beautiful on that day, or or in those days, they do special special programs in their house, or they take care of their tulsi plant in very special ways on that day. So, what can I do on that day to show my love for Krishna? And not only on that day, but like on every day. But this is a point where you can go like, hey, here's a stop in my routine, so that I can like become more determined in my love for Krishna. So yeah, it's 8:00, and I have some services here at the Krishna house. So I thank you all for coming, and I hope that this inspires you a little bit in your devotional life. I hope to see you all again. Jai Hare Krishna.